Hi everyone, welcome to Get Ready with me, Louise. I'm so excited because A, I'm off, which is always nice. I mean, I'm off at work. I'm never off at home. So we got laundry in, we got the dishes done, and then I sat down to do this. And I must say I'm so excited because we were playing with one of my favorite brands and I went all out. I had to pick. Well, I didn't have to. I wanted to because I thought it went with, well, I thought it would go with the palette, and it kind of does. Kind of doesn't, but we'll get there. So the palette I'm talking about is the Natasha Denona Bloom palette. Am I late to this? Yes. Have I had this palette maybe for a little bit? Yes. Have I looked at it every day? Yes. Is this my first time using it? Maybe. But I've watched, I don't like to watch things, if I'm going to kind of give my opinion myself, but I have watched some reviews on this and it's like a hit or miss type of thing. Almost like everybody wished there was more to the color story, or like it just wasn't their color story. In which case, I get it, but I will say that if it is your color story, I haven't heard anybody speak badly about the formula, including myself. I won't speak bad about the formula. But I didn't think it was going to be my color story and I bought it. But it turns out I kind of really like the color story. So there's a flip for you. I thought I'd be one of the ones, that were like, oh, this color story's not for me, blah, blah, blah. Because I'm not into really like peachy or yellows, really. You know what I mean? But this one's more, I don't know, subdued, but yet the purple in it or the purpley colors in it really bring it out. And I really do like the look that I created today. Of course, it's one look. I could hate every other look I do, but I will say at least first impressions, I like it. I will play more with it. But since I had the Bloom palette, I thought what better than to bring out the Bloom Blush and Glow palette because, why not? And I actually pulled out the Tan Bronze and Glow palette. So I used these with that. But let's go over the face. So the face, I'm using the About Face. I did get a different shade because, to be fair, the one I had was just a little bit too dark. And the color that I got was LM2 Neutral. I believe, yeah, LM2 Neutral. And I will say this is pretty spot on. Like, I have no complaints. I think that even if I were to get just a touch of sun, this would still work for me, which is nice. For concealer, I'm wearing the Natasha Denona concealer. I set under the eyes, with the Glam Light. I'm giving this a whirl again. Bacon Set Translucent Powder. I had bought 3 of these. The translucent, the banana, and the strawberry. I haven't tried the banana yet. The strawberry, I don't think it goes with my tone, so to say. But the translucent's nice. It is a heavier powder, though. It's not bad. You can go in lighter, obviously. But in my opinion, I feel like it is a heavier powder. It would be good to set the rest of my face with, but maybe not under the eyes with. We'll just say that. But for the rest of the face, I use the Natasha Denona foundation, the High Glam powdered foundation in N6 to set the rest of my face. I tried to keep it Natasha, sorry for the shake, as much as I could. So for the bronzer that I'm wearing, I did go into the tan. And I do like this palette. I do. You can see I've used it. I've got quite the dent in there. But this is a very like yellow tan, I guess you could say, which technically doesn't look bad on my skin tone, but I'm not a fan of it personally. The color, the formula, I like. Everything in here I like, but it's just not my particular color. I do think it goes well with this look though because of the tones and stuff, but just personally. And then I went into the Bloom palette, which I will say the blush is very beautiful. I have a little bit too much on. I tried to tone it down, but didn't happen because I tried to use this to tone it down, which it did a little bit, but then it really made it really glowy, which I knew it would. I mean, the name of it alone, Duo Glow, hello. But it is what it is. It's still very pretty. It just shows my pores, a lot of them, and the fine lines, but that's okay. And then I use the Glow Extreme for the highlighter, and yeah, you can see that from a mile away. But again, I do love these palettes. I could have used her new blushes, and I was going to, but I wanted to kind of keep with the Bloom theme, so I didn't. And then for lips, I'm wearing her lip in Gloss and Balm. Is that the name of it? It's an old one. I think this came out with the Bloom, but I'm not really for sure. But again, I think it goes really well with the look. So I'm not mad about this. And I love her formula, her lip gloss formula. I really do. So, of course, I love her lip liners and her lipsticks too. So I don't have any complaints there as far as that goes. So now that we went over all of that, let's get into this palette. Because first off, let's just talk about packaging. Oh my goodness. It's so pretty. And it really does go with like the rest of her packaging as of lately. And when you open it up, it looks different than what you're seeing too. Now for me, and what you're seeing, it almost is true to color. But I know that in some videos, I'm like, that is not at all what this looks like. You know what I mean? And I find that weird because I'm like, what are they doing differently? You know what I mean? But it is very, how would I explain this? I would explain this like a very neutral, peachy, maroon, purpley shades palette. I don't know how to, definitely more on, each shade is more on the peachy side for the most part. You know what I mean? But it is gorgeous. Like it truly is. Now, do you like peaches? I don't, that's up to you. I couldn't tell you. Do I generally? Mm-mm. But I will say there is something about this palette that does intrigue me. So the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to go into Petal, which is this shade here. And I kind of just like very lightly dusted it all over the lid. Almost just to set it, to be fair. And like all her palettes, there is going to be pigment, so be warned. First shade we're going to go into after to start the look. I don't count that shade as my first shade, but it is important, I suppose, if you do like to set your lid. First shade, second shade, Ren, which is right here. And it's like a soft pink. It's one of my favorite pinks, to be fair, as far as like color wise. If you hear outside, I got the window down, y'all. It's pretty. It's so pretty out. It's so warm. It does have a breeze, but we got a storm coming in. So I'm like, you know, I am glad I'm off today because it is so pretty. And I get to enjoy it. And I've had that window open all day, just like, I don't really have a view. I mean, I have a view, but like, it's nothing really great to look at. But I've been looking out just because I can see the sky. Of course, I can also see the interstate. But I can see the sky, and it's just so blue and pretty right now. And the wind, it's softly blowing, so like fresh air's coming in. I've just really been enjoying today, to be fair. So I've had this makeup one for a little bit. You know how I am. I'll do everything except for this eye and walk around for hours on end. That's me. And I really didn't use that many colors to create this look, which was nice because sometimes you ain't got the time. I find I ain't even got the time half the time to even put on any makeup. So that's nice. Or maybe it's just I'm really slow. We're going to take that same shade under the lower lash line. Or it could be that I'm just really slow at makeup, and that's why I don't do it. because there's some people I'll look at and I'll be like, so how long does it take you to do your makeup? Because, they are wearing a full bead. And I was like, it's got to take at least an hour and a half to 2 hours, right? They're like, nope, 45 minutes. 30 if I, am pushing it. I was like, oh, okay. So I'm really slow at makeup, I guess. Got it. But then I want to go, so what would your makeup look like if you had the 2 hours? Like, what would it turn out looking like? Because it looks flawless now. So I'm like, I don't know. And I think the reason I go so slow is because I'm scared I'm going to mess up. And like, I don't want to take it off or mess up. So it's like, I just am slow. Basically. I hate that for me because it prevents me from doing my makeup a lot of the times. But at the same time, I just don't have the time. I don't have the patience actually to mess up because like I'm always on the go for the most part. Except as of late, I will say I've not worked as much at my second job. And it's given me time to concentrate on, of course, Ulta in my new position, but it's just, it's nice. We're going to go into Clover. Hey, I just like learning. And it's only temporary, so I'm trying to get as much as I can out of it, like learning wise. Because I find it interesting, the process of everything. And the decisions that must be made, like, because, I mean, come on, that's a huge, like, company. And sometimes it fathoms, it just, I'm just like dumbfounded at the decisions that are made and how they came to be. As in, like, why all at once, Or who decides what type of thing. Like, I really enjoy it, don't get me wrong. And I wouldn't say it's a stressful job by no means, because it's not. There is a lot to it, I feel. But I will say that it's pretty easy to catch on to things. And like, I like to see, like, obviously the new products that come in, but I also like to see, like, the new designs, like, like that the brands decide upon. And then I'm just curious, like, does Ulta have to approve of that, or is it just up to the brands? Because like, I had to do a pharmacy end cap, and I'm gonna tell you now that had some thought put behind it, and it was so pretty. Like the backing of it to the display, how they had the products displayed, it was just so pretty when it was done, and I like that sort of stuff. I would say I like the product better, like the like processing truck and stuff better, um, because I get to see everything, number one, but then like the organization and stuff behind it, like I like that sort of stuff, and I like the fact that like the like how much of what is sold like in like where I work like what is popular, because like it's completely different than like, well, it's not completely different than what like online you see, but like because like when something like really goes viral, of course, everybody's in there looking for that particular product, right? But I mean, like, just like, say it's not a viral product, but just like your people staples, I guess. I find interesting because it's nothing that I thought it would be when you watch online content like I do, like you do. You wouldn't think that, certain things would even, you're just like, really? People are still buying that? And I find that so intriguing. Because I'm like, are those people watching beauty content, or is that like just a staple that they've always used their whole life? You know what I mean? And don't get me wrong, for an example, like Clinique. How often do you hear somebody online talk about Clinique? Very seldom. I mean, I do, but very seldom. But like, they got some good products. Even their skincare's good, you know? Or, I mean, you hear about Black Honey, of course. And like, that's one of my least, I don't want to say least favorite, but it's like one of the least things. I do like the Black Honey eyeshadow palette though. Of course I would, I love the eyeshadow. But like, their skincare is what I mainly use, to be fair. I have a couple of products I always keep on hand. Like Take the Day Off. Or I have their number 2 and number 3 toners, depending on how my skin is, reacting or doing. I have, of course, their lipstick. Their, what is it? Something pink. I know what this is. No, that's the Creamy Nude, which I do love that one too. Hold on, let me find it. Bamboo Pink. Is that right? That's Strawberry Ice. What's that look like? Oh, that's pretty. See what I mean? I have all sorts of Clinique over here. I'm pretty sure it's Bamboo Pink is the name of it. I mean, it's just so pretty. And it goes with any look, But it's things like that I'm like, oh, okay, so we sell a good bit of that. Interesting, type of thing. I mean, is it interesting to people? I don't know. It is to me. And it's interesting, like, the setups of the stores, like, who decides what, like, all that stuff intrigues me. And, like, the way you think it would be ran isn't at all the way it's ran. You know what I mean? Like, I would assume it'd be ran, which I get because it's not, like, individually owned. It's a corporation. But, like, to me, I was like, oh, each store would place their own order for trucks and stuff like that, like what they need. That's not the case. And not every store is, like, exactly the same. So that's kind of interesting there, too. Man, this is just going on beautiful. I don't have any complaints so far, y'all. In this clover shade, it's really pretty. You can definitely take it lighter or even go darker if you want it to. I've kind of kept it almost at a mid-tone for this look, but really this shade can go so much darker. Alright, then we're going to go into the shade, which I did run Clover under the lower lash line too. We are going to go into the shade Fleur, which is right here. We're going to put that on the lid. And to me, this is just like a subtle look. Like, this would be every day, you know what I mean? If you wanted it to be. I mean, it could be whatever you wanted it to be, obviously, but like, it's just soft, and I maybe should have taken the darker shade a little bit softer, but like, this is just very soft, you know what I mean? Like, and it's fairly quick if you're not talking and yapping like me. You know what I'd love? I'd love for Natasha to Denona be sold it all in store at mine. Like, I would be broke every day. I would. Every week, payday, it would go. But we don't have it in store. We do have it online, but not the same. Really, we don't have any of these kind of brands like or Pat McGrath. We don't have that either. I want it though. Alright, now we're going to take, well, I'm going to take my finger, whoops, and we're going to go into the shade Equinox, this one right here, and I'm just going to put that right in the middle of the lid, so it's going to kind of look like this instead of like this. So this is very just subtle, you know, but I want to, you know, shine it up some. So we're going to pick that shade up, that's gorgeous too, by the way, and just smack it right in the middle. I mean, one tap, you know what I mean? Like, it makes all the difference. And I am going to push it into the lid, have that warmth of my finger really work it in. I don't want fallout, which I did not receive any fallout on this eye. So, just be careful. I'm not saying there can't be fallout, but so far so good. And this shade is just so pretty too. We're going to take that clover shade now and line the top lash line. Maybe it's more red, not purple. Like a bricky, I don't know, it looks like, it looks purple, but it's not. I don't know. Now that I'm looking at it up against the peach, it's almost different. It's like pulling differently. I don't know. I mean, it's beautiful nonetheless. That's all I care about. I think that there is peach in all these shades, to be fair. Which I've been seeing a lot of people comparing the palettes and stuff. And I don't think any of the palettes kind of look like this. I think the concept is the same, but not color story wise. And I'm just really getting that color up against that lash line down on the bottom. I'd already applied that color, but anyway, I think the like concept's the same. However, I did watch someone and they were comparing it against the Sunrise palette, and I have it, and I will say that out of all of them, that would be the closest. It would, but I feel like that one is more like yellow orange red, where this is more peachy brown bricky red type of thing with a little bit purple maybe. I don't know. I will say that it's like a cousin, you know, they're like in the relationship, like in the bloodline, but not the same type of thing. You know what I mean? Just my opinion, though. All right, so now we are going to use, well, do I want to? No, we're going to go into the shade. I forgot inner corner. We're going to go into the shade Crisp, which is this shade right here. And I'm just going to, this one you do have to be careful with. You may even want to spray it if using it with a brush. And I'm just going to pat that in the inner corner because I don't really want fallout. But you will get some if you're not careful, just so you know. I got a little bit. It brushes away nicely, but still. And it just gives a little bit of inner highlight there. Okay, now we are going to go into my mascara. The Gucci, the new one. I don't know how I feel about this. My love for the first one is beautiful. Now, I do think this is pretty. You know what I mean? It's still pretty, no matter how you look at it, whatever one. But this brush and formula, I just like it, I think, better than this one. And it could be that I'm just not understanding the purpose of the brush or the formula. But I don't feel like it's like, I feel like the other one just does something special. And this one gives, you know, it obviously is a dark black. No denying that. But it's just, I don't know. It makes my lashes obviously appear, but in a way that's very not noticeable, if that makes sense. Like, you can see there's black there. You can see my lashes are not blonde, but that's about all it gives. Like a natural lash. Which is fine, you know, if that's what you're wanting. But where I don't have lashes and I'm not going to put on false lashes, I need a little more. And the other one gives me at least length and separation, where this isn't giving me that. But it doesn't claim to either, so I believe it claims for volume, if I'm not mistaken. Which it kind of does do. Just not well, in my opinion. It does do something though, so I wouldn't suggest buying this one. No, I'm not going to recommend that. Recommend the first one though. Unless this one dries up and becomes something special, then maybe. But I have used this mascara multiple times now, and each time I feel the same way. Nothing remarkable. Pretty, sure, but nothing remarkable. And you gotta be careful because this one, it could have been what I was wearing underneath, so I don't take this with a grain of salt, but I do think this transfers to like the top. But I had a lot going on that day, so my oils could have broke through and broke it down technically, so there's that. I'm just going to use the Tower 28 for the lower lashes. Again, just to let them be known that they're there. Because my lashes are blonde. And there you have it. I do think this is a really pretty look. Like, I won't deny that. And I do think it was easy to work with. And just looking at the palette, I feel like I can get five or six looks out of it that I know I'm going to absolutely love. Like this one, right? I feel like I can get that for sure. Then I feel like there's going to be about 5 or 6 looks I'm going to get that's going to be everyday, very just natural type of look. You know what I mean? Because I do think that her toppers is what really just makes the difference in a look. But at the same time, there are days where I don't want to be, you know, like bam. they're far and few in between, but there are days. You know what I mean? And I'm just going to apply a little bit more of this on the lip so you can see it. I don't know if this is still available or not. Look at that color. Like, you can't tell me that don't go with the eyes. It most certainly does. So yeah, overall so far I'm really enjoying it. I'm glad I picked it up, especially considering I really didn't think I would enjoy it. So it's a twist for me. Was I still going to get it? Absolutely. Just like I bought the I Need a Warm. I knew that was not going to be my color story. By no means. And I was correct. I was wrong on this one though. And I enjoy being wrong, especially when you're spending that kind of money. I will say the Sephora event's coming soon. It's coming in April. I think I saw that, so keep that in mind. You could get 20% off. There's always discount codes on our website. Mine don't take long to get to me. If I place the order, I usually get it within, depending on what day I place the order. But say I place it on a Monday, I'm getting it by Wednesday, Thursday the latest. So really, I don't have any problems with their shipping. Now, if I place it on a Friday evening, I may not get it till Tuesday or Wednesday type of thing. But still, I don't really count Saturdays and Sundays anyway, so there's that. But yeah, overall, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed pulling out the Bloom palette and the tan palette again. It had been a while since I used those. And in all honesty, it makes me kind of want to pull out my Love when I see it sitting there in the Love palette. But because I really didn't get to play with any makeup in the month of February. And that's sad because I didn't get to use my Chucky and Tiff palette. And I really love that palette. But yeah, overall, I enjoyed it. I like it. Let me know your thoughts. Are you going to buy it? Did you buy it? Is it your color story? Let me know. I'll let you go because I gotta finish the laundry, get ready to go to work tomorrow. Yeah, fun times, fun times. Actually, it is kind of fun. I do enjoy it. I really can't complain about that. Like, who would have thought it? You know what I mean? And sometimes I think that it's not fair. Like, it's not perfect by no means, don't get me wrong. But I would say that I kind of feel like it's not fair because, like, most people, they do not like their jobs or their careers, however you want to put it, right? And I like going to work. And not just I like going to work because I do, but I do like going to work. I do enjoy every aspect of that. So I feel like I'm kind of lucky, and I got lucky even getting the in, you know what I mean? So I am really enjoying that. I do miss all the time that I used to have doing this, of course. But I feel like I need to realize that I can't do this 6 days a week. Let that go. Stop trying for it because you're not getting nothing done because you're trying for something that you just can't do. And maybe concentrate on 3 days a week. You know, I think I could definitely do that and be happy with that. You know what I mean? Try to get the new up the best that I can, the quickest that I can, you know? So I'm working on it. Mentally, I'm not let go of it. I feel like I can still do it, but I am trying. But yeah, I will let you go. This is a long one. I do apologize for that. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe, ring the bell, hit all. That way you're notified when I upload. I'm trying to upload more often, and I will see you in my next video. Till then, take care, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.